As Producciones presenta Cara a Cara con Rosalía.
Bienvenidos queridos amigos televidentes a este programa en el que trataremos de enfocar un tema importante que tiene que ver con el hábitat, con la construcción de viviendas, con hacerlo de manera responsable para con el medio ambiente. Por eso hemos invitado a personas que están vinculadas con la Bienal Panamericana de Arquitectura de Quito. En este caso, la 19ª edición en la que están participando personalidades del mundo entero. Y nosotros tenemos la posibilidad, en este caso, de hablar con una persona, en esta primera instancia, en este primer módulo, una persona que es considerada como uno de los más importantes en cuanto a la innovación de la arquitectura para volverla amigable y responsable con el medio ambiente. Se trata del señor Anders Nyquist. Él es de nacionalidad sueca y tiene proyectos en el mundo entero, en Japón, en otros lugares, y me van ustedes a permitir ahora que pase a hacer la entrevista en inglés, que es el idioma en el que vamos a poder entendernos con el arquitecto Anders Nyquist, y por supuesto ustedes tendrán la traducción subtitulada a lo largo de esta entrevista. Welcome, Mr. Anders Nyquist.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Quito and to this very important event of architectural that the architects from Quito are organizing. Is it your first time in Ecuador?
It's the first time in Ecuador, but I've been in South America several times, mostly in Colombia.
You already had visited Galapagos. That is like an icon for...
Oh yes, that's a memory for lifetime.
Yes.
You shall be very proud that you are taking care of the islands in such a good way that you are doing now.
Oh, thank you very much for the country and for the humanity.
Yeah.
Mr. Anders, we want to know more about your projects, your decision in life to work with environmental projects, with an environmental vision, with a responsible vision about architectural issues, how to build, how to solve these situations, and how to do it in a very responsible way.
Oh, my wife and I, we started to we bought 18 hectares of land and started in 1966.
It is in Sweden.
In Sweden, yeah.
Yeah. Njurunda?
Njurunda, yes.
Njurunda,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And we decided to build an eco-village there.
It was when? Some years ago?
1966.
Oh my God!
We couldn't, these words at that time, sustainability was not on the agenda.
Doesn't exist, yes.
But the program we wrote down for the village is what people try today to do in modern eco-villages, and we did it 50 years ago. So we were rather early.
Yes.
So to be a reliable consultant and an architect working in the green field, you must live as you teach. And that's the reason why we are living in an eco-village. We have an eco-cycle adapted home and an eco-cycle adapted office. And we close the loops for all the flows. So we using sun energy, firewood in the winter, for it can be very cold in Sweden. And we take care, we have our own water supply. And we also in the village take care of the wastewater. For the wastewater is one of the big problems all over the world, and I think also in Quito.
Yeah, and I saw a TED presentation of your projects, and it was amazing how you capture the attention of the people, talking about what we are doing with the water, drinking water, because we are not taking care of the weather in the way that we must do.
I think it's so important
in the complete world. There are only some spots like your spot that you decided to live in a different way.
Yeah, but today we are making war for energy, for the need of oil and gas and so on. In the future, I think the water is the big issue for the future. Not only for drinking water, it's water for agricultural reasons, for making food.
Yes, many people says that agriculture is like the big problem because the consumption of water is most in agriculture than in other fields.
Yeah.
So how we can deal with this?
I think we, first of all, we must close the loops so we are not using the drinking water
for agriculture,
yeah,
or for
and
other
also
uses.
for toilets and so
yes.
on. We need to clean the water close to the place where we are consuming the water. And it's possible to do that. We have made some projects in China where we have shown that it's possible to clean the water close to the building. And then we clean the water so it can be reused for flushing the toilets, and you can also use it for
It's
irrigation.
very responsible using the clean water for toilets.
Yes.
And we are doing it in most parts of the world.
So we try to start all our projects with education, and then we write down a program, and the program consists also of a social, ideal social vision, the life in a building. We are also describing the ideal ecological vision, less footprints, and then the technical vision, and we try to organize the best available technology in the world for the projects. And then the economical vision is just not only talking about the investment cost. For nowadays, all over the world, we are only talking about investment cost. We are not talking about yearly cost, life cycle cost, or the cost for the society. So I think most of our projects they are a little bit more expensive than
they are
10%.
Not a lot, but it's
only 10%.
Yeah.
But already the first year, it's 10% cheaper. So if you want to live cheaper,
when time goes, finally it is cheaper.
Cheaper, much cheaper.
Even in economic field.
Yes. So already the first year.
50 years ago, you had a vision with your wife to build an ecological house and an ecological village. After these 50 years, how you feel about the human being endeavors? How do you feel about what people are doing in most of the countries? Are you optimistic or not? Or you think that only because we don't have the resources on the complete world, we don't have the resources, we have to look to other place to look at your solutions?
I think I'm very positive today. It has been a long walk to walk. But when we could show people that it was possible to do it, it's one thing, politicians, they can talk about what we should do, but the very important thing is to do something. And we have been lucky, we have shown that it's working, so people can come to our projects.
And it's sustainable, not only in terms of environmental issues, but also in economic field. It's sustainable,
yes,
economically
for sure,
sustainable.
And that's the reason why we have also got a lot of projects abroad from Sweden.
You have in Japan,
in Bhutan, and in United States, and in Holland, and a lot of other countries. Africa.
There are lots of followers of Anders Nyquist, and
they are perhaps inspired, and we can be mentors for people in other countries. We shall not design the buildings in Ecuador or in Africa.
Of course, but you need
but I can be a mentor for them, so they perhaps can learn from us. And when we are educating people, we are always talking about why shall we change our way of building houses or cities. And the next is what can we learn from projects? And then how can we implement this in your project? This is
you are a mentor available by internet, by talk. People can talk to you easily. It's not very hard to arrive to your internet.
And today with Skype and everything, it's easy to communicate. And my daughter is also involved now.
There are some other mentors available now.
Yeah, so you can get a younger and more beautiful architect if you choose my daughter.
When you see back to the history of the humanity, and you look that we never learn, or most of the time we don't learn from others' mistakes. I sometimes think that science is more powerful than conscience, or isn't it?
I think we must rethink everything. The hardest thing is to change people's mind, to have another mindset for what you really want to do. We are living a very short time on the globe.
Yeah, but people is scared about future.
Yeah,
especially
yes,
young
yes,
people.
yes.
They are scared because
Scared,
water
yeah,
resources,
yeah.
food, place, quality of life, things like that.
And I think we need to sit down and think about the quality of life. Why are we here?
Mean? Yes.
Why are we here? For example, 25 years ago, my wife and I decided to only make green projects. And we said...
Not more.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Yeah.
And we checked the income for the family,
yes,
and the cost for the family, and we saw that the house, the home, the car, and the food was the three big items. And then we said, is it possible to lower our income to half and work half-time? And ever since then, we have been working half-time, and we have time to be together with our families, our children, our grandchildren.
That's quality of life?
That's quality of life. And we have the same amount of money, and we are not starving, and we are happy. And I think to change the mindset for people, that's perhaps a way of starting to do something. But we also need good examples. So if you want to change in Ecuador, you must do something. You must build something that show people that this is possible. People must touch it, smell it, visit the place. And this is the way we have attract people from other countries, from all over the world. They are coming to our projects, and we have
to see and to see them, to touch, to feel how it works.
Yeah. And for example, design a school. I think a school is the best way to start. And we have done a school in Sweden, and this is the most eco-cycle adapted school in Sweden. And this is idol for many people working with this type of buildings. And the children in the school, they are proud.
They are feeling that, yes, that
and
it's
the parents
different.
Moving to that municipality to let the children go in that school. That's also very fascinating.
It is.
And the health of the people working in the school is much better than in similar schools in the surroundings.
Yeah, they are really good examples to show other people how to do it. I'm very happy to meet you, Mr. Nyquist, and to know what you are doing for the improvement of quality of life and for the future of the humanity. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Gracias a ustedes, amigos. Espero que disfrutaron de esta entrevista y se sintieron tan motivados como yo me siento por encontrar una persona idealista que está trabajando y está demostrando que se puede vivir de una forma diferente. Con ustedes continuamos para hablar nuevamente sobre la Bienal de Arquitectura y otros participantes.